Welcome back into Third and Long on KCAT Radio. Different setup. I have my own little area. I can stay away from all the hooligans that are now on that side of the table. We have Zane Fry, which is Johnny's cousin, back, or I guess for the first time. We mentioned him. We're now putting a face to the name. Zane is here and ready to work with us on the Third and Long podcast. Ryan's now on camera, begrudgingly. Well, it's whatever.
Are you
Johnny,
okay, man?
Johnny, you want to kick it off, buddy?
I'd love to kick it off.
Go for it.
News and injury report, week 14. CJ Stroud left the game with a concussion. He's currently in concussion protocol. You know how that goes. Game to game. Josh Jacobs went out with a knee injury. Nick Mullins replaced Josh Dobbs in the fourth quarter and is now named the official starter.
For next week?
Yes. Derek Carr, 3 rib fractures this year. San Francisco had a bunch of stuff go on. You know, DK Metcalf, ejections.
Oh, that's right.
Fun
He
stuff.
grabbed his face
Fun
mask.
stuff. Yeah. Fun
I
stuff.
remember that.
What else? DK got ejected. Joe Flacco's to start the rest of the season. Mac Hollins out with an ankle injury. And then for Dallas, Jonathan, what's that guy's name? You should know him.
Jonathan, it's Hankins, I think.
Hankins?
Yeah.
He was carted off the field for a high ankle sprain. Should be fine. Hopefully
few
he's
weeks,
back.
I think, like,
hopefully
4
he's back
weeks.
soon. No surgery. I
No,
think.
nothing, yeah.
So before we get into it, I wanna maybe take a look at Zane really quick and ask him. So he's obviously a Steelers fan. How do you feel about the season so far, dude? We're catching you mid-season. Zane's a football player at Los Gatos High School. Who just went down and played states. So Zane this is his first week available on the podcast, but we'd like to hear more about his Steelers lineage and maybe a little bit about him. So Zane, you want to tell us a little bit about who you are?
Hi, I'm a Steeler fan. This is a tough year for us because Trubisky isn't any good at football and Kenny's out. But there's still hope. We just gotta win, and then Kenny come back, and he's gotta win.
So what I've heard, you're a born again Packers fan, which currently this week isn't the best place to be in. We'll talk about them a little later. Let's stay in the division though. Let's go look at Lions Bears. Kind of throw some shade at myself. I want to know, where did this game go wrong for the Lions? I want to know from you guys.
I know. It's the turnovers. Jared Goff, 2 interceptions, and then Jahmyr Gibbs as well with a fumble.
Well, guys like not Jordan Love, guys like Jared Goff, they have super low floors, super high ceilings. You see it all the time. You saw what he did in Los Angeles. You saw what he did when he got to Detroit. It's just a cycle that's going to repeat itself until it doesn't, until he's done.
I still have faith in him though, in the Lions. I think they're still gonna perform well, but a loss to the Bears division rival is, and they're not even really a rival at this point. They're kind of.
I mean, hey, good for us.
Exactly. No, yeah.
I also think Fields coming back after a couple weeks of injury, and now he's like starting to really get in rhythm and playing good. It's helping the Bears a lot.
Yeah, he had 58 rushing yards along with a touchdown, as well as 223 through the air.
See, I wish I had time to fill out the notable players section so that I had that just ready for me, but.
Johnny clearly had better things to do this morning.
Okay,
than,
it was my
do our
birthday yesterday,
spreadsheet.
okay?
Oh no, yeah, give him some.
Well, yeah, happy birthday, buddy. But
belated
like,
birthday,
come on,
buddy.
man.
Thank you. Okay, I was tired. Okay,
You were tired?
I had to beat you at bowling.
Okay, we were bowling with spin shots. I don't bowl.
I
spin
won.
Shots.
I had
You
4
won.
frames with no pins,
And you still won?
and I still won. I came back-
What was your final score?
I think it was like a 97. It was
97.
horrible.
It's like if you're under 100, it's
No,
not
it was
something to
bad.
flex
It was
about.
really
No,
bad.
I remember I got 99 when I went like a few weeks ago with ZB, our producer.
Well, it's because like you don't bowl for so long, and then you just go and you play one game, and that's that.
Yeah.
So I want to move on to Jags-Browns really quick. This game takes the Browns and puts them into a relatively competitive playoff spot here at 8-5. Browns took a big game against the Jags. I really had the Jags picked to win this and kind of thought they were going to win it from the start. Where do you guys think this game kind of turned sideways for the Browns, and why do you think the Jaguars really couldn't pull this one out?
Joe Flacco.
Yeah. He's him.
Bro, have you seen the picture of that man on the knee with the beard, the scruffle?
Yep.
He looks like a man's man.
No, he is, I think, more manly than Gardner Minshew ever
Bro.
was.
Iron crotch.
I
Yep.
did see that. Also, Trevor Lawrence threw 3 interceptions.
Yep.
Yeah, it's hard to deal with that. I know some weren't his fault, but that makes it a hard to win game.
Yeah, you can't be winning games and throwing that many interceptions. It's hard enough to get your ball back, get possession back.
And sacked 4 times as well.
You have to score too.
Exactly, yeah.
Your defense has to show out. If you're giving up the ball that much, your defense has to show out, and your offense has to prove that they can get down and score when you aren't being stupid and throwing interceptions.
The Jags also didn't use the receiving core much. Almost all the receptions were ETN and Evan Ingram.
Evan Ingram had 11 for 95.
Yeah, and 2
And two
touchdowns.
touchdowns,
right?
yeah.
So I'm curious from you guys. Jaguars are in an interesting position here. They're 8-5. The Colts are now 7-6, along with the Texans 7-6, riding right behind them. So at this point in the NFC South, Jacksonville only holds a 1-game lead over them. They go to play the Ravens next week. Jacksonville falls into this AFC wildcard picture. Do you guys expect them to remain dominant, or do you think the slippery slope is starting to slip?
I think, at least for the Texans, their whole receiver core is hurt, and Dalton Schultz. So I think that's going to hurt them, because CJ Stroud's also concussion protocol. So I think Jacksonville will come out of that division, because I just don't think the Colts have been able to win those tough games, but I don't think that is long. That can't happen over time. I don't feel like, for the Colts at least.
Makes sense. Let's move. You want to move on to your game, Ryan?
Yes.
We all introduce our games. Do you want to talk?
game.
Go for it. Have your fun.
Cowboys-Eagles division game, probably the biggest game of the week here. And let me pull up the stats. But
Big statement.
33-13. I mean, what else do I even have to say besides when we played them earlier this year, it was a 3-point game. It was close. The Eagles looked like a losing team at that point, and the Cowboys just kind of basically ran through them. Let's see, Dak is playing like an MVP frontrunner here. I think Dak deserves the MVP over Brock Purdy. Check down Purdy. Way more.
Fully agree.
Way more.
Okay, I can't say bias. I saw a check down Purdy meme on Instagram today, and it was just Purdy throwing 60-yard buckets to every single receiver in his staff. So I'd like to point out that check down Purdy is a little. The stigma's going. It's not great. However, I think Dallas looked really good. Zane, you said something last night I want you to say again. He said something about fraud teams, and he uses the exact word fraud. I want you to say the exact same thing you said last night again, because you mentioned about the Eagles, and I want to know what you mean. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I rethought this a little bit,
Okay.
and I'm changing the wording a tiny bit. I believe there is no elite teams this year. Usually, every year, there's 3-4 teams that you're those teams are the best team in the league. They're going to beat everyone except for maybe those other 2-3 teams. But this year, it feels like every team is lost to someone really bad. And it's just there's a circle every year they make of this team beat that team. So overall, they technically beat everyone. And that was made by week 7 this year, which is the quickest ever, which means every team took a bad loss early in the season. And it's the only team I thought left that was elite was the Eagles, and they've taken 2 bad losses in a row. The Niners might be elite, but they went on a 3-game stretch where they looked pretty bad. I know they had some injuries, but every team's injured, so it's hard to always blame things on that.
Let's even talk about.
But aren't the Niners always injured? Every year it
Yeah.
seems to be, some sort of key aspect of their spectacular offense is always hurt, and it seems to be the reason why they claim they can't get to the Super Bowl or they can't win it.
I mean, every team goes through injuries, though, to some extent.
Well, yeah, every team deals with it. Nobody's going to go into playoffs or even into this part of the season at 100%.
Mm-hmm.
You can't expect that from any point or any team past point.
I think they just say
week
that
6.
because their team is surrounded by good players. To the fact that where one of their good players gets hurt, it's almost
I think
inevitable.
they're spoiled,
Yeah, exactly.
and they need to wake up.
You guys want to talk about spoiled teams? You want to talk about
I'd
spoiled?
love to talk about.
Go talk about
spoiled.
spoiled, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, like I said last night, I think that Kadarius Toney is an idiot, and I think that Patrick Mahomes is a crybaby.
Ooh.
Good call for the good call by the refs. I don't care if it was the game on the line. It was a good call.
It was the right call.
I think that the fact that they stuck with it and didn't change it made me a little bit happy. I didn't lose faith in the NFL for the first time in a long time.
I don't know. It was the right call, for sure. But they talk about it all the time. There's tiny things that they do illegal on almost every play that the refs let go. And for them to decide on a game winner to call that offsides is huge. Especially because there's a video. He checked with the ref that he was onside. And then the same ref threw a flag on him.
Yeah.
It was oh, you're good. And then he's oh, here's the flag. So
That's where it's
a bit
confusing
tough.
for me personally. If he gives him the thumbs up, then why should he be penalized? But I do think it was the right call. But it's counterintuitive. I guess.
I think everybody needs to do better. I think Kadarius Toney needs to just be a man. This is one of the first things they teach you in high school football.
Did he own up to it too, or no?
I don't know it.
I haven't heard him say anything about it yet. I I mean, I still just can't believe that Patrick Mahomes was so avidly upset about it.
Especially like in the post game, like when the quarterbacks like dap each other up. He even said to
Like,
Josh, like
at that
that's
point-
not okay.
At that point, it's funny. My point is that they teach you that like first thing going into high school. They teach you that you need to be on sides. They show you where that little neutral zone is, where you cannot be, and that's something that you need to know and understand throughout your entire career. I don't care if you're a freshman in high school, or I don't care if you're a veteran receiver. You need to know that.
No, for sure.
Also, for Mahomes, you got to remember last week against the Packers, that was a horrible call they called against him on that like incredibly obvious PI. So this is back-to-back weeks where bad calls have hurt him.
They never said that you can't run on other players while they're trying to catch the ball.
I feel like they might have.
Keyshawn Nixon, let him be.
I do like Keyshawn Nixon.
Do we have to talk about the Vikings and the Raiders?
No.
We have it listed, and
I have it listed just because I wanted to point out how horrible it was.
I just want to laugh at Raiders fans.
Yeah. And the Vikings fans,
Yeah,
because
okay.
that shouldn't be a win.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay leaving it on the spreadsheet just to laugh at. Has everyone gotten everyone good on that one?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, let's move to Giants Packers. Swiftly, I think we should stay here for 10 minutes. There's a lot to unpack here.
I hate
the
you.
Packers are just a dumpster
I
fire.
hate you.
I don't know. They've been on a great stretch.
Oh, but every team's a fraud, and there's no real good teams in the NFL.
I think that it's Joe Barry.
they're elite.
You think it's Joe Barry?
I think it's Joe Barry.
Yeah, that prevent they ran was horrible.
His defense is horrible. Okay, he called man. I don't know why our guys were playing so far off. I don't know if that's what he wanted or what our guys thought he wanted, but it was wrong and it needs to be fixed.
You can't play man and prevent.
Well,
Yeah, that's not
That doesn't
possible.
well, and see, here's the thing.
Can't imagine.
Yeah. But like, our defense has never been good. Like, it's been decent, but it's never been great. No matter what personnel we have, no matter what coaching staff we have, it's never been great.
Or horrible though. It's never been horrible.
pretty bad this year.
Kevin King has put the word horrible in my mouth a few times, but we will ignore that for now. I think that we need to really focus on our defense. Bill Belichick, please.
I feel like you just got owned by
want
Tommy
you-
Cutlets, man. I feel like there's just
Matt-
nothing you can say about that. That guy ran all over the place. He was doing exactly what you wanted him to do. He was a game manager. He wasn't really throwing the ball all over the place. He wasn't really making mistakes.
I saw DeVito's manager's high school photos.
Yeah.
Did you see those? The necklace with the tattoos?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, bro. He was.
I remember, Johnny. You said New
He was
York
so-
football was back in week 1. Now, you might have been talking about Aaron Rodgers. I didn't think you thought New York football would come back and have a little resurrection by beating your team.
This is true New York football. Like
Didn't
from
we
the
lose to them
Monday
last
Night
year
Football.
too?
Yeah, in London.
Yeah, I think so.
Wow, you guys suck. I would
We don't
hate to
like
be a
New
Packers
York.
fan right now. Zane, why would you be a Packers fan, man?
I
That's just such a bummer.
have to hear him talk about him all the time.
See, has
Well,
to.
that's
Doesn't
kind of
want to.
why I stand up for the Steelers all the time, Matt.
You do. Yeah, Zane's dad will always tell me like not to bully the Steelers, and for once his son can actually comment on how
Hey,
bad
he's
the
told you a
Steelers
few
are.
times that you can.
No, a couple times he's been like, yeah, especially with Matt Canada on staff. He was like, yeah, go ahead, man.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with a little Steelers hate.
Zane posted Fire Matt Canada for an entire week. So Broncos Lions.
I have a kind of predictable prediction here. I feel like
Okay, let's hear your predictable prediction.
I got
Ryan.
24-17 Lions.
That's exactly the same score that I have written down on my paper.
He does.
Like I literally called it out. Predictable. I mean, the Lions need a bounce back game after their loss, and I just don't think the Broncos got it. Sorry, Matt. I just don't think they got it.
Matt's
You
always
son
talking
of a
about
gun.
how- he's always saying that the Lions are Super Bowl contenders.
They are. I actually have the Broncos winning this in a close game just because I can't pick the Lions in my the inner
Womp
child.
womp.
Don't. Hey, you are. We're gonna have issues after. Dude, that was a pen. I thought it was a pencil. The pen kind of hurt.
Good.
Okay, well now I have a red pen. You don't have a pen anymore.
Zane has a pen.
I do.
Well, I can't win anymore. There's too many people against me now. It's not like it was cool when it was Ryan was the one over here, but now I'm over here and I just get bullied.
See, now you're in the corner. You're in the dark. Well, actually, not
I'm
dark.
actually very well lit over here. so
We're
it's pretty
better
okay.
lit.
What's up?
I'm better lit.
I think I'm the best lit.
Actually, I have the new
pretty
light.
lit.
I
Remember
have
it
3
broke?
lights on, man.
Remember it broke?
Wait, who broke
It
that
did
light, by
break.
the way?
No
It
one
just
broke
turned
it.
off.
What are
Oh,
we
that's
talking
right.
about? Can we talk about how the Broncos might
No.
actually probably
They will not win this
They're
game.
not gonna win. I'm sorry.
No, we're not going
Russ is gonna put the crock pot on the counter and walk away.
Not the
Probably.
crock pot.
No, but the only way we win this is if we somehow hold Jared Goff to just if we okay. We got to put him on the ground. We have to somehow manage to score points and then not be the Broncos and mess it up.
It doesn't look good for you.
It doesn't look
I'm
good.
sorry.
I'd rather talk about the next game more. Now, this game, Bills-Cowboys, I do want to dig into. I have two options here. So the Bills could either win 42-28,
Whew.
or they're going to lose 28-8. Because the
Interesting.
Don't know
Bills
where he
are
got these
either going
scores.
42 or 8.
Where did you get these scores from?
I pulled them out of my butt.
Yeah, I can tell.
Yeah.
They're a little smelly.
No, they're correct. They're all possible. They're
I
just,
don't like him.
I don't like them
Please
either.
don't porcupines.
But my point was going to be that the Bills are either going to show up and probably kick the crap out of the Cowboys, or they're not, and the Cowboys are going to get a really easy win.
I want to hear what Zane has to say on this.
I got the Cowboys winning 35-30. I believe the Bills are the biggest fraud in the entire NFL.
This is true. This is
But are
true.
they
I
frauds
hold this
anymore?
statement dear to
Yeah.
myself.
They have a losing
No, think about
record.
it. Are they frauds
Yes.
if they're expected to lose every single game?
Yes.
They
don't
were
have a
one of
losing
those
record.
3 elite teams, and now they have a losing record.
Now? I guess this is
They don't have a
true because
losing
they
record.
fell
Oh,
off
They
since
just
last year.
saved it. It was a losing record.
It was, yeah.
All
They
right,
just
Ryan,
saved
what
it.
do you think?
I think you guys already know. 31-26 Cowboys. I think the Bills are going to show up.
Where are you
but
getting
they're
26 from, buddy?
not. You can go.
How many field goals is that?
No, 24.
And
you
a
go
safety.
and a safety
PAT,
or
2 field goals.
or two what's it called? The
You mean 4 field goals and
2-point
2
conversions.
touchdowns?
Well, I have
Miss PAT, 2 field goals.
Yeah, there you go.
I have
touchdowns.
the Cowboys winning 35-21.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys realistically are going to come out with this just because of the consistent kind of momentum they've been building over the past couple weeks. I really want the Bills to win. I never want the Cowboys to win, but I mean, hey, it is the NFL. It's a coin toss every week this week. Let's go Ravens-Jags. So let me start this one by saying I don't like the Ravens. I don't want them to just rule the AFC.
Nobody should like the Ravens.
I've always not liked the Ravens, but I always since day one I thought that they were going to be good this year, and I was right.
I've always
Okay.
thought that their jerseys looked a little bit cool sometimes.
See,
But
me too.
they're-
Once in a
I don't
while,
like 'em.
kind of cool.
There's no one I
Especially
hate
their
more.
color rush ones where it's just straight purple.
Yeah.
Like all
Madden 24.
Talk about scores really quick. Give me some scores, guys. Johnny, what do you got?
I got Jags winning 24-14. I don't think it's what's going to happen, but it's what I want to happen.
I got Ravens 28-23. Okay. I think the Ravens are going to show up like they normally do every week. The Jags. Is Trevor Lawrence still hurt? I mean, he played, but was he fully
He
healthy?
played.
Like,
He was making some diving plays and stuff with his
Okay.
ankle. He seemed okay.
I still think the Ravens are going to take this one because I think they're a more well-rounded team, especially that rookie running back like K'Von Mitchell. I think he's really special.
I disagree. I think their offense has I just don't think their offense is very good, but they keep winning. They don't talk about it enough, but they have maybe the best defense in the NFL this year.
For sure.
But that receiving core is pretty bummy. And I think both their running backs are 2 lower tier running backs in the NFL, but I do have them winning 21-28 or 21-18.
Well, I'm excited to see how these predictions pan out. We will actually be keeping track of this next week. I'll make sure to see,
Should we
did that.
make
Will
a
you now?
whole list?
I'll do my job.
Will you really?
Yeah, I'll do my job.
Let's make a whole
That's
list.
And you know what? I'll even fill in the notable players tab next week so that we can be prepared for our week 15 update, week 16 predictions, injury reports, all that.
Ooh, fantasy
All the
playoffs
jazz.
start this week.
All
fellas.
that good stuff. So make sure to tune in for that next week. I'm Johnny. Matt's over in the corner now. Be exiled from humanity,
You
Matt.
can't throw out the TV.
Haha. Go away. We got Zane and Ryan on camera now. Hope to see you next week.